Hi everybody, it's Julie and I am ready to start on my Dollar Tree $15 junk journal challenge. So what I like to do when I'm going to be doing a junk journal is I kind of like to have a theme. So I went ahead and I picked up this calendar, and you can see that it has all of these little goodies on the back. I actually have two of these calendars, so I've already gone through and I've cut out these off of the back page. You can see that I've left some that have the borders. I didn't just go and cut out all the squares. Some of them are the squares because I cut the one from the top and the bottom, and then I got the big one from there. So I've already cut those out. I'm excited. I think those are going to make great tuck spots and tags and things for other places inside. You can see this calendar on the cover. You'll have your choice. You'll be able to use this, or it's going to be double-sided, which is really, really nice. And it's thick. This is a thicker page, so if you wanted to use this as your cover and do like a traveler's notebook, you could actually do that with this right here. Okay, so then we have, starting with January, and this is 2018 calendar, we have all of the different large designs. So I think it's going to be awesome to be able to use these for pages, or to go back in and use them for tags, or cut out the individual items and use those, giving us a great variety of items to use in a junk journal. Okay, I just love the birds and the butterflies. Okay, so I'm really excited to use this. So then this is the December, so you'll have this in two places. Actually three, because you also have the little version of that one as well. So next I've chosen this sheer ribbon. It has 6 yards, so that's going to give me plenty for a closure, for some other embellishments. And I need to find out if I can use my sewing machine, because you could actually go ahead and sew some of this to the edge as well. But that'll be really fun. I did replace the butterflies that I was going to use on the cover, and I had picked these up in another Dollar Tree haul, these index cards, and I just needed something with a little more that was a little stronger, but it also gives us some journaling. So I will be using those. And I did get these playing cards. I love how they look with all of these different, look at that. They just look like they belong with it. So those are playing cards, and we'll see what I use them for. They're kind of sturdy. They are plastic coated, but they do bend. So, you know, possibly a little book. Cut it up. It can be banners. We'll see. It's going to be fun. Fun. Okay, now you remember from a haul from Dollar Tree a couple times ago, I got these gold stickers. Well, the one things I was really missing, I like to have words in my, so I replaced the blue sequins that I got for this. I replaced those with this sticker sheet. So that I will have, and that was from Dollar Tree and just recently. I did get these cards, and I put the parchment paper back, and I'm going to be using these cards because I can use these envelopes. And yeah, so I also got these stickers. I like them because they do, excuse me, they do go along with the theme. And they'll give me a little bit more texture. Here's the book, and I have saved the paper cover to possibly put in here, and that will be awesome as well. Okay, so we're going to be going to that in just a moment. I am using this lace, and again, we'll find out if we can use the sewing machine because I may use it on the sides. I can use it to decorate a paper clip. I can use it to make a tassel. Lots of things that I can use that for. Also the gold seals. I just thought that I like the touch of gold throughout, and so this along with the stickers, that'll be awesome. I also I couldn't find glitter glue, so I got some gold nail polish, gold sparkle nail polish, and I will be using that. I got this in the package wrapping section, and it's a flower, and it is on here, and I'm gonna try and probably take it apart and use it taken apart, and then just use maybe part of the flower for the cover. I got this yellow paper pad so that I would have some paper and this white paper pad, and so there we go. So we have 1, 2, 3. Oh, also this is so far this is what I'm going to use for the cover. I do also still have the contact paper in case this isn't working. I do have the contact paper, but I wanted to go with this because this paper pad, when there is things like this, it's more subtle. So yeah, so okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, sorry, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And let the Junk Journal Adventure Challenge begin. So getting ready, I like to have a couple of places that I am keeping the little items that I am going to be using, and also the tags and things that I make. As I make them, I will use a couple of little boxes like this. I've actually already cut out a couple things last night while we were watching TV. And so I will put those in this box, and then the items to be used will go in this box. These will go in here. How cute. The back of those cards say tender thoughts. So I have a piece of book paper. So I just, like I said, I just go ahead and these are things to use. These are things to use. And that way it's easy for me, easier usually, to find the things that I'm looking for. And especially when it's a challenge and I'm only to use certain items. Also, the week before, I am going to do, or actually even a month before, I'll start a box like this, and I'll be putting things in it that I'll be using as I find them. So that is my box of items. The paper and the calendar are going to go over here on the side. So now we'll go ahead and get started. We'll see how much I can do. My husband is mowing the lawn today, so it may get hard. So here is the book, And I did make sure when I picked it out that it does come away from the spine. And so I'm going to go ahead and push it down. Looks like we have a good, might be able to do the scissors. We found last time that the scissors worked much faster than the X-Acto knife because I was afraid. Oh, it is glued on, but that's okay. Well, so it is glued. That just means we'll have to do something here in the center, which, you know, it's all a learning experience. Sure looked like it was the right kind of book. Okay. Have you tried this yet? Have you dismantled a book? They don't cry or anything while you're doing it. So far, I haven't had any books. Why is it I always get to this side and have a hard time? Because I'm on video. You know, as soon as you start videotaping, things don't go the way. I'm over here, I'm trying to pull on it. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Okay. Ta-da! We did it. Okay. Well, another really cool thing is that the paper and the calendar, paper is a little more, came with cardboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure what I need. So this is an extra step I wasn't planning on, but it'll be fine. I'm going to do the measure and snip measuring method. Maybe? The old measure and the fingernail. And my cutter is missing. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and so I am trying to cut that, and of course it's not gonna cut through, so it's okay. We call this just the way things happen. Okay, so I did get a straight line by using the cutter. And again, I am using the cardboard from the back of the paper pad, so I'm still within the $15. And okay, I might have made it a little bit, it's a little bit too big. You want to make sure that you see how that has about 1/4 of an inch on either side? Like a little less than 1/4 of an inch. You want it, because this is the paper that's left over from the book. So I'm going to go ahead and carefully cut. See if that'll be enough to put me there. Because then if you don't do that, your book will not open and close nicely. Okay, so this is without anything in it. And you want to make sure that it's going to open and close nicely. Ooh, where'd that go? Because I might be able to use that. I might be able to use that. Okay, we're going to cut just a little bit more. Okay. Okay. And the old fingernail measure and rip. And cut. And we'll save that. You never know. We might use it. Okay. So there we go. Now I want to clean this up a little bit. And yes, you got it. We're going to keep that. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and try and cut along this paper. Get a much, well, it's a better edge. Same thing on this side. Pull the paper up. We don't want it to be in that little gully right there, because then that is going to hamper our book opening and closing. And I have to tell you, I am excited to have found out about junk journals, because I already am a person that likes to use all the stuff. And on top of that, I have a lot of stuff. So, okay. So I am going to be using my Tombow Mono liquid glue. And I get this at Michael's or Joann's. I'm really liking it. It dries. Oh, don't want to lose that. That's the gold band from the playing cards. So I hadn't used this one in a while, so I knew that it was going to need some help to get started. There we go. So we're just going to, because I had this particular book was actually glued at the top. It was not, and at the bottom, so I will be checking that more closely on books. But knowing that I can rebuild it, it'll be okay. So here, go ahead and glue this down. The one thing that I have discovered with this glue is when you're gluing things down, that you want to glue it down, let it sit for a couple minutes, and come back and glue it down again. Okay, so I'm happy with the way that is closing. Okay, so in our so here I would probably put something. Let me see what I have that came with. Okay, so this is some of the other packaging that I have that came with. Oh, not that. This was in something though. just want to get something that's got some strength to it. I don't have, in my items that I chose, I don't have any tie back. I don't have any material, because usually I would put some type of material here to help, especially when I've had to fix the binding. But you know what? We are going to be using, this could be the reason that we use the contact paper for this book instead. This may be the place where we decide whether we're using the vinyl, the vinyl shelf liner. Now, I was excited to use this. On the cover, it has texture and everything, but I'm really thinking I need something for in here. This will do that, and this is going to be too bulky. So we change my mind again. And we are going to go with this contact paper. I haven't worked with contact paper a whole lot in years. However, back in the late 80s, 1989, I bought a house, or we bought, my ex-husband and I bought a house in Iowa, and well, we had rented a house. Oh, I like that. Look, that's going to be the cover right there with these flowers. Now, do I want it lower? Because I'm going to want to probably put a butterfly. I think we'll put it kind of in the middle. And I like the way it's going to look on the spine, and this will be the back. So, coming over here, and I'm going to just snip with my scissors. Jiminy Christmas. The glue always falls over. I always end up with tops. Okay, so contact paper usually has a grid happening on the back, so that you can go ahead and cut right along the grid. And then when there's words, you can, again, go straight. Okay, so we got to find that flower. And we're... Okay. Okay, so this contact paper is not for the faint of heart, and I would probably recommend trying it on something before you do this, but I'm excited because I'm also going to be using this. I will make a tag probably with this. I can make pockets with it. This could be the center of the signature. It could be the outside of a signature. This is going to be awesome, as long as I can make it come up like I want it to. Okay, so we've got our cover picked out, but you know what we really needed to do was we needed to fix the inside here. And so let's see. There we go. I really didn't want to lose any of that flower, but I can come back and I can cut and fussy cut there. So I'll be okay with this. So I've done the old snip. And cut. Yeah. Things like that is why I almost failed sewing when I was a kid in junior high. I actually, all the clothes I wore except for my jeans and my underwear, I had made. And I designed my own I like would buy a pattern and nothing ever fit me the way that it was, you know, that it was supposed to, which I'm sure happened to a lot of people that sewed. But I almost flunked sewing in 7th grade when everything that I wore I basically made. But because I'd been sewing since I was 5, and I already had all the shortcuts. And when you take a class, you know, they don't want you to do the shortcuts. You know, I I almost failed art in 9th grade as well. Again, I do not color in the lines. I really struggle with staying in the lines. I can draw, but for me, a coloring book, things like that is frustrating. In this art class that I took, basically what you did was you took an old coloring book and you, it's a joke, he had an overhead projector, and you would take and put the coloring book up onto the wall, and you would draw it on, you know, enlarged, and then you were to paint it. And I am sorry, but yeah, I almost failed that class too. I think I actually confronted poor Mr. Fortmeyer on that one. So I was like, this isn't art. And I had a lot of friends that loved that class. But I drew and I painted, and I don't even remember if it was a class I had to take or I chose to take it, or, you know, that was a long time ago, like 1974, 75, 76. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm so glad I picked up this contact paper to be able to use it, because who knew I was going to mess up and buy the wrong kind of book. So there we go. I have fixed the inside, and now we are going to go ahead and I want these to be right, just so that if somebody is looking, they are correct. So I'm checking one more time, you know, check, check, check. Okay, I've got my cover cut out. This is going to be the back. This is going to be the front. And actually, no, this is the front. And am I going to be okay with the way that looks? Because really, it's supposed to go like that. Let me see. Where's the contact paper? I've got plenty, so, and I want to do it, because this is going to be the grand prize in my giveaway on my channel for reaching, yeah, we want to go that way. Yeah, so we will be cutting this. So that it actually is going up. You know, a lot of people, it doesn't bother them when flowers are not growing up. That's one of my pet peeves. Flowers grow up. My mom is the one that taught me how to do flowers. I've been a florist for over 30 years. Started doing my first wedding that I did, I was 15. And before that, I had helped my mom for years. And my sister's best friend at the time was getting married. Yes, she was 14. Anyway, my mom was doing the flowers and she let me do my first bouquet and hairpiece. If you watch my videos, you may have heard this story before. Anyway, my mom makes her boutonnieres and stuff, and she a lot of the times makes them upside down. And I don't know if that's from the time period from when she was, but she does that, and it drives me crazy. I like my flowers. Flowers grow up. I want my flowers growing up. And guess what? I did it. Did I just do it? No, I didn't. Okay. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. So there we have our cover. And we have just a little on each side. This will be the center. And this, oh my gosh, this is going to be gorgeous. Okay, so front being the most important, I'm going to start with the front. I am, okay, let's see here. Okay, I'm going to go around and do the really technical way of figuring out where things are going to go. The old pinch and tuck. Pinch and tuck around the... You learn things like pinch and tuck and things like that, and then this paper won't be as scary. Okay, because what I need to do is I need to go in and I need to cut my, ooh, we want to move it over. Sorry. We need that top to be over. Pinch and tuck, pinch and tuck, pinch and tuck. Okay. We need to be able to come in to the corner and cut the corner. We also want to, I don't want so much, and I'm saving the pieces because that's what I do. Okay, this should be a little easier, and I'm going to save that because you remember last time I had to use the little corner in the corner. So we'll save those. Oh, one more corner. Okay, so we've cut the 4 corners. Now again, make sure that we have the front, and we are going to go ahead and separate our paper from the backing. Sure we are. Okay, sometimes when this happens, you can only doing this because I'm on video. You know that, right? Oh, so back to way back in the 80s, we rented this little farm, this house on an avocado farm, and I could fix things up in it as long as I could purchase the stuff at Green Thumb. So I'd get permission, and then I could go. Well, the wallpaper had water damage. They'd fixed the stuff, but there was water damage. So I went in, and there was no wallpaper, but there was contact paper. And I found this awesome print that was great colors. It had a plain, it had a stripe, and it had this really cool border. Okay, so I'm gonna find my corner. Probably will be easier to turn this over. Okay, so I'm gonna lay this down. I'll continue that story later. We've got a whole book to do. Okay, so, okay, I'm gonna turn on my light that I have behind me. This is a new edition, and it has really been helpful on lining things up. Okay. Okay. Whoop. Let's go this way, because it isn't helping today. And you might run into this if you're wanting to have something specific on the cover of your book. There we go. So I'm going to do this half and rub it down. This particular contact paper seems to be a little bit forgiving, which is actually really nice. So there we go. And I am going to go ahead and close off this side just so I don't have sticky edges. I wouldn't probably do this if I was just gluing something down. I would go ahead and finish. But because we're using contact paper and we have the sticky sides, I'm going to go ahead and cut that in a little bit. Okay, and over here as well. So what I did is I just cut these a little bit so that they can come up, and I will probably cut those off. Okay. Okay, so how do we like the cover? Cover's looking good. Cover's looking good. Okay, so now we gotta go and we're gonna pull it back to the spine. Okay. Pull it back to the spine. We need to make sure that this gully has good, that the paper is making contact paper, in the gully. Okay, so now we're gonna continue across, and we have the second gully here. I'm sure there is a book term for that. I don't know what it is, but when I learn it, I'll start using that. Okay, and then we're going to come across, make sure nothing has attached itself to your book, because, you know, I've got this other stuff here. I don't want to have anything have attached itself. So I'm going to go ahead and at least have the center placement. Okay, the other thing is when you are moving this, you don't want to stretch your contact paper, because stretching it is what's going to give you wrinkles. Give your book wrinkles. Okay. So here we've got this. I'm going to come over here. Okay. And that's what happened here is I stretched. So I ended up with some wrinkles. I'm still very happy with this. Very happy with this book. Okay. I am going to I'll do this easy one. This one has a lot. I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. Okay. And cut cut it at an angle and pull it. Now, I'm not as worried on the front pages normally, because I will be adding a book edge, a book corner to it. But on this particular one, for this challenge, there were no book corners at Dollar Tree. So I don't have any book corners to add, but before I send this off in the challenge, I will add the book corners to the front. Okay, so just trimming up these corners. But how cool is this? Like I said, you just want to practice with your contact paper before you get out there and try it, probably. I love the cover. Love it. The back looks good too. So there is the beginning of my book. Okay, so next we need, okay, and I think we're, okay, if you end up with a wrinkle like this, the way that you fix a large wrinkle is slice into it and push it down and push it down. Okay, the wrinkle, when it's that big, now unless you can press it down, but if it's that big of a wrinkle, then you want to slice into it and move it down and move it down. And it only wrinkled because when I had pushed this down, I compromised it. Okay, so the one other thing you want to do is carefully come back in the gully. I'm not going to use, I usually use the scissors like when I use material. I'm going to go ahead and use the back of this paintbrush. No, I didn't get this at Dollar Tree, but it's on my desk and it's a tool there. Oh yeah. So there we have the cover, and I think it's blending well enough here that I'm not gonna put another piece down on it. Okay. Now, if I was going to be putting a hitch fastener on here, not a hitch fastener, the little charm clip, I would do that right now. I would go ahead and use my crocodile and make the eyelet hole and put the eyelet. If I'm putting an eyelet in, I would put it in right now. Or if I was using the Tim Holtz little fastener for the charm, I would do that right now. But I'm not going to do that. Okay, so next, I do know that I want to have the ties out here, I think. Actually, no, I think I'll tie this book around the outside. So we need the box that has all the stuff that we're allowed to use. And we have 3 yards of this, and we have 6 yards of this. So we're going to use this because we have more of it. So we could either go ahead, and you remember you can also use like these things. Okay, so we could go ahead and put your ribbon through, and then when we put the other paper on, it will hold it down. Or we can just tie the book. When I tie a book, I usually go around a couple of times. tie it in a bow. What happened there? Oh, I see my ribbon didn't come up. Okay, we'll go like this. Okay. So like, am I going to be okay with that? I think so. Okay, so we want to make sure that we save that much ribbon. Okay? Because we are on limited supplies, that is why I've gone ahead and taken care of that now. Okay. 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 So next, we want to choose our inside papers, and so that is the calendar. And do we want to go really bright? You could actually use the calendar, but I'm not going to do it. You could actually like put a piece of calendar. And that, if this was like specifically for a month, like this was for August, it might be kind of cool to do that. Because like the beginning of this calendar has these months. So if this was going to be for November, that might be really kind of cool. And you know what? Yeah. So let's see. Oh, I like those. So that gives us butterflies and butterflies. I think that's the one we're going to use. Now, normally I would, oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and take those staples out. Trusty staple remover. You know what that was, right? Everybody knows that that's a staple. In case you have one of those in your drawer and you don't know what it's for, you just use it to take off the staples. We don't need, oh, maybe we do need to save. We're going to save the staples. Okay, so that way now we can go and find that page, and it'll be easier to cut it and not ruin it. Okay, so we're going to go with this one. I think this will be very nice on both sides. And let's see. Looks like we'll have plenty. Come down here and actually just pull out the cutter. And I didn't see a cutter at Dollar Tree this time. My Dollar Tree is brand new that I went to. I am using a couple items from an older Dollar Tree that's been there for a long time, but there's some things that some of the Dollar Trees have. Oh, look at, there's another. I like this one though, I think, but this looks really fall. Okay, that one, if I use it, I'm going to lose that butterfly. This one. We're going to lose the blue butterfly. Okay, so the method of measure, so we're measuring, and then pinch and tear with with the fingers. We're going to do that. Okay, so next go ahead and cut this paper. And save this, because this, I use this in my other one. It made great borders. Like, see that? Can you see that? A great pocket. Yeah. So we'll be saving that. Now we need to come over, and you could put this paper. No, you couldn't, because look, it's not going to fit. But we are fine with this being our center. So we're going to come over here. We're going to pinch. And we're going to come to right the outside of that goalie. We're going to pull this one to this side. And same thing. Pull and mark it. Okay? Put the book aside, come on over, line it up, and cut. Okay, so there we have that one. And this one is just... Okay. And because I've torn that, I'm going to start my cutter at the bottom. In case you were wondering why I'm down here at the bottom. If you come back this way, it could pick up that tear and tear the paper. And I'm on limited supply. I don't want to lose that. Now that's going to be a great scrap as well. Okay, so now we're going to look at this and we're going to decide, because we don't have to just automatically put it in like this. We're going to decide which way we want it to be. And I'm liking this because I think I want to put a pocket down here, possibly, or a border tuck. So this time I am actually going to use them in this way. So we're just going to turn our paper over, check that we're still filming, and wait for the glue to get down to the bottom. Okay. Should be there. Okay. So we're just putting glue all the way around the outside and then on the inside as well. Okay. And we want to make sure that we're putting it on the right direction and that we're pretty equal on where it's going down here. Okay, I love it. Okay, and now the back one. Any day now. Okay, here we go. So if you were using a calendar and say you're going to do December daily and you're like, wow, I can't find numbers. Check it out. There's numbers. And you could just go along and punch the numbers out for your December daily out of an old calendar from another time, another month, another, you know, if your December picture is amazing and you're going to use that, or your winter pictures are amazing in the calendar and you're going to use them in your December daily, but maybe you're not going to use July, then there's a place for you to get your numbers for your December daily, or your 31 days of October, or 30 days of gratefulness, thankfulness. That's a place for you to get numbers. Okay. So this is the inside of my book. I think that is awesome. Okay, I have a few little wrinkles happening, and that's gonna happen because we're on plastic and the paper is really thin. Okay, so normally I would choose a thicker paper on the inside like I did with the prayer journal and the Halloween journal. I actually used cardstock on the inside, and that's what I normally would use. But for the challenge, I don't have that. They did not have, they did have this little package of 6x6 papers, but they were like donut sprinkles and sweet tarts and things like that. Not something I was going to use. Okay. Okay, the one other thing that I know that I end up using a lot is I like to have something inside the center. But I think because, again, we're on limited supply, because I would probably do something like this. We'll wait because I only get 3 yards of this, and I do probably want to put it on some papers on the outside. So yeah, so there's our beginning of our book. Okay,